bring in Dr. Mehmet Oz. Dr. Oz, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Seemed like it was a genuine surprise, him handing you this piece of paper with medical results. Didn't give you a big chance to really look at it beforehand. Was that a disadvantage? I mean, could you tell just by looking right then and there whether it was legit and comprehensive?
Well, the letter is a typical document that one physician will give another regarding a patient. So every time I see a patient in my office, like later today up at Columbia, I'm going to get letters like that from patients, and you do process them pretty quickly. It was a comprehensive summary of a battery of tests, some of which occurred last week. He also, in that letter, was outlined by his doctor other tests he's had, traditional screening tests, colonoscopies, heart scans, and the like. And I invited both candidates, because I know health becomes such a big issue in this campaign, onto the show. And Mr. Trump agreed to come, and I was surprised when he produced those records. All I really wanted to do was to ask as a review of system, the checklist of the typical things that a doctor would want to ask someone they didn't know.
So you asked additional questions.
I did, head to toe, just give me a quick idea of what's going on in every part of your body. I wanted to try to help bring some clarity to the health of the candidates, which is why, again, I'm hoping Secretary Clinton will accept the invitation, but I'm glad she released her record, because we're a much more informed country today than we were yesterday about the health of our candidates, which makes me feel good.
Well, a lot of people expected Donald Trump to release these publicly. He put them through the filter of you, Dr. Oz. Are you able to say, with your reputation, the trust people have in you, unqualified, that Donald Trump is healthy enough to be president?
The records that I got, without question, indicate he's healthy enough to be president. If I, as a doctor, had a patient like him, I would think he had good health for a man of his age, and I'd send him on his way. And I think that is, again, reflective of the fact that he's had appropriate screening throughout the years. I did not do the tests myself, so I can't confirm that the data was all right, but the summary is pretty clear.
I think people expect the standard to be a little higher for someone who wants to be president rather than a routine checkup for someone who'd come into your office. Wouldn't you like to see more of his health records or perform some of the examinations yourself?
His doctors should perform his health care exams, but the tests that he had done were the ones I would expect. He had a stress test done on his heart, which is, again, the kind of test a CEO of a company would get. The letter that I read would be typical for a person who's running a company. And I think that's pretty parallel. It's not exactly the same, but pretty parallel to what you want to have in order to judge if someone's going to be healthy enough to lead you.
This wasn't without controversy. Some people looked at this and said, what is a presidential candidate doing on a TV doctor show? Were you concerned at all about being, for lack of a better word, kind of used in that way?
Well, I invited both candidates to come on a month ago, and Mr. Trump agreed last week, so it was long before Secretary Clinton became ill. The invitation is to her still open. I'd love to have that conversation as well, but I'm a real doctor. I still practice medicine. I have a show that reaches millions of people, especially folks who are focused on the health topic. I think it's a very logical thing. Why not release it on a show that talks to people every day about health and have some context put on the results? You're not just throwing a bunch of numbers in the newspaper or a reporter. You're actually giving it with a doctor who can guide you through what it means.
Dr. Mehmet Oz, thank you so much. By the way, the full interview airs today on the Dr. Oz Show. Check your local listings for that.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.